Shalom to the elected Israel, to the hopeful elected Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreign Israelites that live like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Name of the Heavenly Father, who everybody intimately calls God, and Allah Qadash, which is the ancient Hebrew. His true name is Yahawah. Bahasham means in the name of. Yahawashi is the Holy One of Israel. Everybody intimately calls Jesus Christ, who was slain at the foundations of the earth for the salvation of the elect of Israel. And he's a so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah. And you got 2/3 of the wicked Israelites here in America, Babylon the Great, and then the other wicked Israelites that are scattered across the four corners of the earth, who will come back to the loins of the elect of Israel after the destruction. The Rawchaa Qadash, if the Holy Spirit that has been bestowed upon the men who the Heavenly Father gave his only begotten Son out of the world to complete this work. So we always want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who led us all to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord, when we part of that number, Lord, when the Spirit to find those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light, Zephaniah 3:5. It is not slack, 2 Peter 3:9. And it's unto a ring, 2 Peter chapter 5, verse 42. Shalom to all you sincere believers out there. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, Barak. Going to get into some various end time topics. Title is The Elect Used to Starve, so the Lord is going to blow up Babylon like propane. And we know that the destruction of America, Babylon the Great, is imminent. And through that time, we have various struggles that we all deal with. It's definitely something that when you come into this truth, you got to realize that it's going to be the hardest time of your life. Like, you're going to realize that these demons are going to attack you more than they did when you were in the world. And that's why we need elders and apostles, because they kind of like balance us out whenever we are stressed, or I wouldn't say stressed, but I would say, when you back up Jake into a wall, right? Let's say you back up a bear into a wall. It's gonna be a little agitated, or it's gonna be something that's it's gonna defend itself, and that's what this world has done. to the prophets. You've backed us up into a wall. And so there's certain things that we deal with that most people don't deal with because they're comfortable here. But the elders and apostles teach us, how to conduct ourselves when we're backed against those walls. And that's part of the lessons that we receive from them when we do deal with our own circumstances, and we do them in the sense of where we're thankful that they have been patient enough to give us that time to recalibrate what we think about our own actions, because that's what the elders have done. They've given us a chance to review ourselves, to take heed to ourselves, to think about, okay, this is what I got to work on. This is things that I am good at. And that's what you're going to encounter when you come into this truth, Jake. You're going to encounter you battling yourself more than anybody else on the planet. This is a lonely walk. This isn't something that is for the weak-hearted or effeminate, which is soft or emotional. You have to look at things and look past your own desires to understand, the methods of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So we're going to get into these various topics, but that was just a little something that the Lord's put in the spirit on me to mention. Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. Some of these I got from the brothers. This one I got from the brothers. It says, we're close to the end. Biden world, right? The Biden world, people who like Biden, braces for the possibility that president will step aside. Why is that? It says, as Trump is about to accept his third consecutive GOP nomination for president. And we know that they're real big about threes, these demons. Esau eating the so-called white man. It's all played out for it to happen this way, right? So consecutive GOP nomination for president. Biden is off the campaign trail with what? The CV-19, the juice box. Okay. But I thought that weren't they so big about taking juice boxes? Didn't they have tons of juice boxes for you to take where you didn't get CV-19, right? So the president of United States, right? He gets these symptoms, right? But they made all these juice boxes. Don't you think that he wouldn't have got it by now if he took all the juice boxes? What? That doesn't make any sense that he would get it. So we know that there's something bigger than this. This is going into prophecy of what's going to happen, but you can add that up for yourself. Anybody with intelligence, that something is going on. They were so big about it was mandatory. You take these things and I know that if you try to go to a hospital, you try to be a doctor or you try to be a nurse, it's mandatory that you take the juice boxes. You take the juice boxes so you're immune from these things. Okay. So how much more the president? But he has it. More than likely, he probably doesn't. More than likely, there's something else going on. But we're just going to go to the scriptures. I just want to mention that because, we're in certain times. We're in a time of, we're in the last time. We're in the end, and we talk about it every day, So we're going to read about this. This is 1 John in the New Testament. 1 John chapter 2, verse 18, little children, it is the last time. And as we have heard that anti-Hamashiach shall come, what does that mean? They're against the scriptures. It says antichrist, but how you say that truly in the ancient Hebrew is anti-Hamashiach. Okay? So it's talking about the anti-biblical people. They are really, truly against the Bible, but they say they're with this. They say they're with the Bible, right? It says they shall come. Even now there are many anti-Mashiachims. So we know that there's not just one anti-Christ or anti-Hamashiach, anti-anointed. We know that there's many of them. So that's already showing that these people in these churches, they're all about the Antichrist. One guy showing up. It says there's many of them. It says that there's more than one of them, right? Whereby we know this is the last time, right? We know that this is it. And these Edomites, this is why you have articles of Biden saying we're close to the end. He's really saying that after Trump come in office, man, he's about to turn this place upside down. He's going to be a demon. You're going to find out that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, was the demon, man. You're going to find out, like, after this man steps into office and you got all these people with him, because it doesn't matter. It said you can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So even if let's say he doesn't win, it's still going to be a very, very bad time. It doesn't matter what he does. Doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter. What matters is prophecy.
Strong's G 2078 Eschatas.
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 Eschatas. Right? That word last. It says extreme. Last in time or place. Last in series of places. So what does that mean? There was a series of times that have been commenced on the earth. And there's going to be a time where there's the last time that wickedness will exist. And that is what we are alive to see this day. So that's why you see elders and apostles making decrees, telling GMS brothers to do videos every day. Okay? That's why we're doing that, because we know this is the last time. Last in temporal succession, last referring to time of space. And look what it says, the uttermost part. And we read in the book of Acts, the first chapter, it said that we would go to the uttermost parts of the earth, and that would be the last places we teach. And then this word last, it's right there. And when you look up the word uttermost part in that scripture, it refers back to this. It all links back up to the truth, right? Uttermost part, the end of the earth, of rank, grade of work, last, i.e. lowest. And we know, what did they think about the Israelites? It says that they're the scum of the earth. And it also said that the apostles were raised last. Why do you think One West came, and then all these other wayward camps came, and then GMS came, and then of course you got your Johnny Latelys after GMS, they came, but they don't have a brotherhood across all the fucking four corners of the earth teaching one doctrine. So we know we're not talking about them. We already read about affiliate camps that didn't agree with the true camp. So we know it's not talking about them. So, right, furthest, final, ends of last, latter, end, lowest, uttermost. This is the last leg of Rome. The last leg of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, his last stronghold against Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And he's created a false reality for our people. And that's cool. That's fine. That's part of this, why he's doing that. So, right, the last time, right? Don't look up that word time.
Strong's G 5610, Hora. Hora.
Hora. It says a certain definite time or season, right? And we know in the book of Ecclesiasticus, it says that mercy is seasonal. So it's a time, it's a seasonal time. It's only a certain amount of time you're going to get grace. It's a grace period. Just like if you got to pay your phone bill and they say, we'll give you 3 more days to pay it. But if you don't pay it, what? The judgment comes forth and your phone gets cut off and you can't use it. That's what this is. Life, everything around you. It's a time period. And if you don't get what we're saying by the time it's up, you will have a horrible judgment. A certain definite time or season fixed by natural law and returning with the revolving year. And we know we do what? Our years by the new moon, because that's what it says in Isaiah chapter 66, verse 23. It talks about the new moons. You know, moon means month. So every, March, when we do the Passover, that is the new year for us. So it's a definite time or season that's going to be fixed by natural law of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi for something to happen. And this time it's going to be America, Babylon the Great getting destroyed. That's what we're telling you. Of the seasons of the year, spring, summer, autumn, winter, the daytime bounded by rising and setting of the sun, a day. The 12th part of the daytime, an hour. The 12 hours of the day are reckoned from the rising to the setting of the sun. And what did it talk about? Noonsday, Judgment Day, Noonsday. This stuff all goes back to all the other scriptures, right? It says short, instant, season, hour, the tide. Jake doesn't understand the times that we're in. He doesn't understand this is the last time. And there's many people who are against this word right now. It's more than what there was last time. It's a lot of people. You got even Biden say we're close to the end. And when he says the end, you know, he's trying to make you think it's the end of just his presidency, but it's the end of their entire rule. That's really what they're telling you. So while that's going on, Trump's trying to go out with a bang. And it reads, you know what? Hold on. This is Isaiah chapter 2. I'm going to go here first. And it reads, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, talking about Israel. And it reads, and it shall come to pass in the last days, read, right, that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, which is talking about everything that we're telling you is going to be established. The Old Testament and the New Testament is going to be established in the top of the mountains, and the mountains means nations, all the other nations, and shall be exalted above the hills, which is the suburbs, and all nations shall flow unto it, right? That's what we're seeing. This is the last time that we have to read this and it not happen. Okay? We read this before. You Israelites out there, we read this before and we died and it didn't happen. This is the last time that we're going to read this as a body. You men out there, you Akim out there, this is the last time we're going to read this together. And it actually comes to pass. You know, that's where we're at, because we know through the succession of time, he told Second Esdras, measure the time within itself. We're pretty sure we know this is the last time, right? So we're going to look up that word flow. Said the other nations will flow unto this.
Strong's H 5102. Naher.
It's a Syrian Hebrew.
And second entry.
Let them tell it.
Naher.
Same thing. It says to flow, stream, to shine, beam, light, burn, to beam, be radiant, i.e. flow, assemble, flow, be lightened. Right? So this is in the Old Testament where it talks about light, a beam, right? All the other nations are going to beam to Israel. They're going to be like, that's where we need to go, right? Where does it say this in the New Testament? Hebrews 10. And this is why you have certain camps and certain other camps that are not in GMS. They'd be like, well, we don't follow the book of Hebrews because it matches with the Old Testament. Okay, because that's the whole point of these other camps. They have to find at least one scripture to debunk the whole Bible. Because if they do, then that means it's not real. So that's why you see them being very specific about stupid ass shit that we've already proven. Okay? That's why you see Vocab Malone, he's been talking about the same argument for 20 to 10 years, some shit. However long he's been talking about it. Because they know that everything else it's already checked out. Okay? And that's the only thing that he can do to confound Israelites that aren't well learned. So he tries to use that, but it doesn't work. Especially if you're coming to a GMS camp. You think we just got in GMS and we're just weak, feeble men? We're in the same nations that Esau lynched us in, and we're telling him he's going into slavery. We're telling him that he's going off. We're standing out here in front of his face. It said the Lord made our faces hard against their faces, and we haven't even done nothing to them. And they try to say we're hate hate camp or something. We do hate speech, right? We didn't do anything to them. When have you ever seen Jake lynching Esau eating the so-called white man on crosses all over America because they look like they're white people? We never did that. They did that. So this Hebrews September is 22. But call to remembrance the former days, which means what? We had to be there. Why the Lord want us to look at a day that we weren't there? It would make sense. He wants us to look and remember those former days because the elect were there and they suffered and they starved and they died. So that's why the Lord's going to blow up Babylon like propane. But call to remembrance of the former days in which, after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions. Right? Right? What did we just say in Isaiah when we looked up that word? Right? We looked up that word flow. There's going to be a beam on the other nations. Like there's a beam going to be on them because they're going to be enlightened on what we're telling you right now. So that shows you that the Israel in that state right now, the Israel over there, they definitely can't be the people because not everybody has been illuminated with their doctrine. And it said that there will be war no more. Okay? So what are they talking about? There's definitely war going on. You were illuminated and endured a great flight of afflictions, partly while ye were made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions, right? They thought that they ain't nobody, we can just destroy them again. They ain't talking about nothing, right? Because we don't have a military, true Israel. And partly whilst ye became companions of them that were so used, right? We was around other brethren that we was going through the same shit. Verse 34, for ye had compassion of me and my bonds, and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and an enduring substance. Okay? We're going to look up that word substance and then we're going to move on. I've been doing a lot different lately, not doing as many scriptures. You want to look up words. We're going to look this up in the Greek to show you that it matches with the Old Testament.
Strong's G 5223. Huparxis.
Right? Existency. So we know that what we obtain, it's what's going to make sure we exist. Our thought pattern is going to exist after this destruction. Right? Goods, substance, wealth, property. See? Proprietorship. That's how you say that. I think that's how you say that. But like property, this knowledge that we have is going to be the only reason why we exist. This is the substance of this truth, and Jake thinks that this world contains a substance that is worth running for. But you even got their own people saying that they're going to be very wicked. And we know this since the dawn of time. The Lord said that they were going to come like that. Okay? So this is why you see the hopeful elect. We don't trust them. So this is the next article. It says Trump is planning the most inhumane immigration policy in the U.S. history. And you know what he calls it? It says Donald Trump promised a massive deportation plan Thursday night, right? And we remember the whole thing with the Holocaust. They was just drinking and having lunch, and they was like, we're just going to murder a whole bunch of people. This is what we're talking about. Didn't we not see an article? He said he wanted to bring back mass shootings publicly, hangings and guillotines publicly. This guy right here. Okay? That's who we're talking about. And you think he's just going to be that wicked and he's not going to draft you motherfuckers into this World War III? You don't think he's going to do nothing? A lot of people think he's just going to be super nice. You're going to find out. It says Thursday night. That was what? Yesterday. Even larger than the biggest mass deportation in U.S. history. President Dwight D. Eisenhower's racist name, Operation Wetback. And that's one of those bywords when you look at the Deuteronomy 28. They call it spink spooks, pork monkeys, wet bags, savages. They called us the Jakes that look like so-called Chinese, Moab. They used to call them onions. They said you ain't worth nothing but a fucking onion. And that was in that day in the 1800s. You know, an onion was like maybe 2 pennies and shit. They called them fucking onions. Okay? And that shit, you can go watch the show Warrior. Me and my elder is kind of in the middle, still watching it. But the person who made it was Bruce Lee's sister is who made this show. Okay? And we believe Bruce Lee was a Jake. We believe he was an Israelite. So going into it, the former president was doing his typical fear-mongering, blaming immigrants for any and all of the country's ills when he decided to name drop the 34th U.S. president. So that's why you see the elders and apostles call him Nero. Okay, because what Nero did, he was an emperor in the time of Rome. And what did he do? He set Rome on fire and he blamed the Israelites for it being on fire to cause war. Okay. And he talks about, oh yeah, he blames the immigrants. Well, we're immigrants. We were brought over here in slavery. We're immigrants too. We're not from here. You think he's just talking about them? We're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 47. Brace for impact. GMS Brothers is on it. We're just posting all types of videos. GMS is really about prophecy, you know? This is all we do. And we're still working on ourselves, especially me. I'm definitely working on myself. You know, I definitely got a lot to work on. And I'm glad that I got, you know, the Dallas brothers. I got, you know, my elder. You know, he comes out of LA. I got some of the most beautiful brothers around me to keep me moving forward in this truth, because they know that, you know, I want to receive his correction. And that's the thing, Jake. When you're young, you're going to want to receive correction because you're going to get shit wrong. You're going to have times where you're like, you're going to fall short. It said that the young shall utterly fall, but those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. So when we do fall, we renew our strength through the elders, you know, and we don't always fall. Sometimes we do good for a while, but there's going to come a time, Jake, you young Jakes out there, you ones that want to be part of this brotherhood, you're going to need them to guide you and give you certain words just to you to help you get back on your feet and your mind to continue your walk, you know? So this is why we're here, Jake. This is why we're seeing articles like this. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. We were talking about yesterday, you need to be grateful that you're even being called to do this, right? Especially in this time, if you're not in the brotherhood, if you're somebody, if you're affiliate camp, or you're somebody who's just getting in the brotherhood like me, you better be serving this with joyfulness. You better be so glad that you're here, man. You better be showing like, damn, man, I'm fucking here, man. You got to really show that to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, not man. You got to show that to the Lord that you're actually grateful to be there. And you do that through your time, your honor to the brotherhood, your reactions when you are corrected. You know, you tell them to water, you fix your shit, you figure your shit out. Okay? We came here to get corrected. We didn't come here to be perfect. Okay? We're not going to get perfected until he comes back. And with the gladness of heart. Why? Because we wanted to get fixed in our minds. And our minds, ultimately, we wanted to get fixed. So we went to the apostles. And that's why you see us clinging to them all the time and wanting to talk to them and be around them. So we want to get fixed. We want to be right. You come into the truth. The world's still plaguing you. The Lord's testing the shit out of you, letting Esau eat them and the other nations fuck with you and shit. You need to be around elders. That's why I say cling to them. You won't make it, Jay. You end up getting proud and thinking that you know everything, and you're going to get thrown out of the body. And with gladness of heart, and it doesn't say and, it just says for the abundance of all things. That's another way to know that we have the 100% truth. And that 100% truth means that we know everything what it means to pertain to salvation and why we're in our captivity. It talks about many scriptures that talk about how we prophesy in part and know in part, but we know what we need to know. That's what we mean by the 100% truth. And because it said without faith, it's impossible to please the Most High. Faith, it means that there are certain things that you don't see, but you believe it. And the Lord was very, very wise doing that, because then all the carnal people won't get it. For the abundance of all things, verse 48, therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies. So what we're doing right now, we go to work for them. I got to be there tomorrow at 4. They get mad if I'm 2 minutes late and shit. They be like, well, don't make it a habit. It don't matter what's going on in my life. I could have got hit by a car or whatever. They're like, who gives a shit? You need to be here on time. That's how that's how it is in the brotherhood too, but not as that extent. But they're gonna want you to be on time in camp and be on time with everything else you do. So what do you got to do, Jake? You got to bite down and be like, when it's time to go, you got to fucking go, Jake. And everybody else, however they feel about that shit, don't give a fuck about that. Get your ass where you need to go. Like, that's what I'm learning today. It don't matter who the fuck it is. You know you got to be somewhere, be there. Because that's all you're worth. You got your word and your balls in this bitch. You sign shit saying Esau and be there at 3 to work. Be there at 3, bro. And be there early if you can. And that's the same way with the brotherhood. And who gonna say something to you? If you on time for everybody when they tell you to do something, tell me young brothers out there. You on time to every time somebody tell you to do something, you early, what they gonna say to you? Nothing. Nothing. They're gonna be like, well done, servant. Because that's what we are. We're servants. And that's the problem with a lot of Jake. They they don't know what it means to serve. Okay, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You're gonna find out you don't want to stick with it. Okay? Because you're gonna serve a wicked judgment and you're gonna get a very horrible, painful death. Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. You can't get nothing unless you go to the store and grab shit, Jake. You can't get nothing in this world without going to Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and paying taxes to get your shit after you pay taxes to get your money to pay this nigga for your shit. This is the curses what we're in. Right? And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck till he have destroyed thee. When he bring Jake over here, the so-called Negroes over here, they had yokes of iron on their neck, literally, like iron on their fucking neck. Verse 49, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. So we're going to look up that word, eagle. Lord told me to look it up. Never done it before till today. That word eagle, and we know that the mascot of America, Babylon the Great.
Strong's H 5404. Nesher.
Nasir.
Nesher.
Nasir. Says eagle, vulture, griffin, vulture, right? And it says from an unused root meaning to lacerate, the eagle or other large bird prey, right? Eagle. So he sent a vulture to devour us. Okay? We're going to look up this word lacerate in the definition. It says what? Hold on. Lacerate. Tear or make deep cuts in the flesh or skin. Criticize forcefully or severely. So this is how we know it was talking about somebody was going to come and put us into slavery and call us niggers. That's what they did. Okay? They lacerated us. And the Lord said what? Because we didn't take doing the commandments joyfully, he sent them. Okay? And they made their mascot an eagle. And they literally did that. And that's in the Old Testament before they came and do it. That's what it means to prophesy. We're telling you something that already happened, or we're telling you something that's about to happen. That's prophesying. Okay? This is the stuff that we went through as Israelites, man. So it says, as swift as the eagle, and a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Look at this word understand. I know this is, I've been doing it to where I do a couple scriptures. I'm going to do a whole bunch of scriptures, and we can just go into some words and really break it down to you, Jake. Because you got some new people coming in this thing. You try to give them 10 scriptures. Man, Jake has a short attention span. So you just got to give him a couple scriptures, Jake. Just give him some milk. Give him 2-3 scriptures. Pull up some Greek words. Talk to him about it. Because Jake's not ready to know the truth yet. A lot of Jake are not ready to know. But the more I've been going out, the more I've been realizing, Jake, they see the prophets and they're like really wanting to know. I've been having people subscribe to my channel, not because of me, but because Bahasham Yahawashi is putting them in there to learn it, either to root them out, or bring them in the fold. That's what we're doing. We're out here and we're making ourselves a living sacrifice. We might go out there and get shot. We might go out there and somebody fucking beats us up or jumps us. But that doesn't mean that we weren't in the right place. Sometimes the Lord lets that happen. It talked about how the apostles, when they talked about Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, they got beat up for it sometimes. And they said not to ever teach it again to the apostles. And they said that it was grateful. They were grateful that they got beat up because of that. And they continued to teach. So it can go both ways, Jake. Maybe you might suffer going out there trying to teach Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You get beat up or something. That doesn't mean that the Lord's not dealing with you. And of course, we don't want that to happen. But we've had accounts of that in the scriptures where that happened to the apostles, and they continued. As long as you continue, Jake, you're good. It's about those that endure suffering. So it's in a sense of like, you want to avoid that stuff. You don't want to just like go out there and get into shit. But if it happens, especially pertaining to doctrine, and you're teaching the right doctrine, the Lord's glorifying you through those infirmities. That's all I'm saying. Don't just take it as you're just all the way off, bro. We're meant for the world to hate us. We're meant for the world to be uncomfortable. Okay? That's what we're meant for. We're meant to come in here and shake shit up. Not meant to come in here and be nice to fucking everybody in this bitch. We're not meant for that.
Strong's H, 8085. Shammah. And second entry, Shammah.
Right? It says to hear, perceived by ear, to hear, or concerning to hear, have power to hear. So the Lord said that we wouldn't even understand what the fuck they was talking about. We wouldn't even have the power to understand we was under the curses. So all this time we've been under the curses, we've been in slavery for all this damn time, and the Lord made us remember. He gave us that power. He said in the book of Acts, you shall, when the Holy Spirit, the Qadash, come upon you, you shall receive power to what? Perceive and understand what the fuck niggas is talking to you about. I'm talking about, these niggas, these Edomites, that they're trying to enslave us, they're trying to keep us asleep, to hear with attention or interest, to listen to understand. We didn't understand what they were saying. We didn't understand that, their language on what they were really doing. How do we know? When were black slaves taught English? Education and subversion in the antebellum era. There's a whole era about we didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. This is scriptures. Okay? Enslaved people taught each other how to read and write. As early as the 1700s, 1710s, slaves were receiving biblical literacy, right? Biblical. They were trying to teach them the Bible. They didn't understand literacy from their masters, right? So we would have never understood this without the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. We would have never been able to understand the shit that they changed in this fucking Bible with their language without them. You know what I mean? Who wouldn't have understood? The fact that they can explain to you what this Bible means in this language is proof alone to show you that Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi exists. Enslaved writer Phyllis Wheatley, as taught in the home of her master. See? So a lot of this stuff the Lord did, and it was strange. The strangeness of our salvation, as it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 5. The strangers of our salvation. They're like, how the fuck did they learn this shit? We didn't change the whole damn language and everything. How are they able to interpret it right now? That's why Esau is fucking flipping out right now, because we can interpret it in their language. You think that's got to be the spirit? They called us niggers and said we were dumb and we didn't know anything. The Lord took everything from us. How the fuck did we get this truth in your language? How? Between, it says, when was it illegal for black people, so-called black people, to read? Between 1740 and 1867. That's damn near 100, 200 years. Jake be like, oh, it's illegal to smoke weed. Nigga, we couldn't read for damn near almost 200 years being over here. It was illegal. You got caught reading, they was lynching your ass on the street. You not understand the wrath of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi? Jake, you don't understand that, but you will. Anti-literacy laws in the United States, America, Babylon the Great, prohibited enslaved and sometimes free, even the free ones, Black American Jake, from learning to read and write. Because why? Because they knew eventually, what did the scriptures say? They know what the scriptures say. This devil knows what the scriptures say, that Jake would eventually wake up. So they did that to make sure Jake did not wake up. And in these same states, they talking about it's a hate crime because you said that y'all don't like so-called white people. Look what they fucking did to us. The fuck out of here, you lame ass, punk ass, weenie ass nigga. That's what I gotta say. You lame and you weak, and you say one little thing, they be like, oh, you're going against the military. Bitch, we going against this whole motherfucker. Fuck y'all who really like this place. That's what I got to say. And if you got a problem with me, whatever, you got a problem with Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. But we know that these demons, we know what? They wicked. So to listen, to give heed. Like, this is simple shit. We weren't able to give heed for a very specific amount of time. And now that we can do it after all this time, they want to make like it's like we're the problem. No, motherfucker. You're the fucking problem. That's why you're gonna get rooted out. Finna get rooted the fuck out. Right? So whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. And that's why he's finna come with his immigration laws, because he's trying to stop prophecy. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land till thou be destroyed. They got all the shit right now. Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind. Nope, he didn't leave none of that shit. He just put his face on a dollar and said, if you want any of it, you have to take this dollar to me, and then you can get it. Or the flocks of thy sheep, till he have destroyed thee. And when he talks about the flocks of thy sheep, he's told Jake, he whipped him and said, you better call on the name of Jesus Christ and come into this church every Sunday. And you're not going to get, you know, none of the believers, nobody believed in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi over here. They believed in Jesus, and there's still some of these bugged out house Jakes who believe him today. That's how effective this was. Verse 52. She got these shit talking about some $83 quadrillion transfers and shit. Nigga, how you know? Verse 52. He shall besiege thee in all thy gates. Right? we would be broken all the way down, which means what? You don't know shit until thy high and fence walls come down, when thou trustest, right? They took over Israel throughout all thy land. They're over there right now. Okay? Because it says in Baruch chapter 3, verse 8, we're in this captivity to this day. And he shall besiege thee in all gates throughout thy land, which the Lord thy power have given thee. This is what we're going through right now. Who the fuck is Israel, man? It's us. How could that be them? They have a fucking military right now. The so-called Israelites over there right now. They have a military, bro. This is very plain. But we're gonna move on, because if you don't get it by now, you're in trouble. This reads, it says the company selling illegal copycat snacks laced with drugs. 5 companies were issued warnings by federal officials for illegally selling food products containing potentially dangerous drug and packaging that closely resembles popular natural brands loved by kids and adults alike. So the FDA sent 5 companies that somehow they was able to make a bag that said Fritos on it. And when you look at it, I done seen some of them Fritos on the left, right? I done seen some of them at Walmart, and I seen some of them too, right? I seen both of those, okay? They're saying this one, it says ill hemp product. So they trying to say that is one of them is infused, right? And they putting this stuff in Walmart and stuff. That's you know, they're doing that type of shit. And and it might just be hemp, but it has some shit in it that's got you going off, Jay. But this is from the Lord. Okay? And when you say companies, that means that they have a mass amount of this shit. Right? Right? The FDA, Federal Trade Commission, issued warning lessons to Hippie Mood, Earthly Hemps, ShamrockShrooms.com, Mary Jane's Bakery Co. LLC, Life Lead Medical CBD Center. According to the press release published by FDA on Tuesday, separately, the FDA issued a warning letter to another company, Grow God LLC, for also introducing approved products containing Delta 8 THC into the marketplace in violation of the Federal Drug and Cosmetic Act. But who made weed legal? Right? So you got to understand the economy's falling. So there's a lot of, they know that THC makes people what? It makes them want to eat and shit. You know, makes you high and you want to eat a whole bunch of shit. So who knows what they've been doing with this? Because you know how Esau Edom is. They'll allow something to go on for a while because they're making money off of it. Then they'll be like, oh, y'all just got to come to a stop. That's how they are. The warning letters are part of an FDA and FTC joint initiative to reprimand companies that sell illegal copycat food products containing Delta 8 THC. They're trying to basically get you, you know, high and make you start like fiending to get high. So they selling this shit to the markets. Okay, and they're saying that there's not weed in there. It's just a regular ass bag of Fritos and shit. Why do you think the elders and apostles? I seen a brother in GMS recently. He said, "Cook at home. Don't be fucking buying these chips and shit, Jake." You know, and of course, like I've heard the elders say that, you know, eating edibles and stuff isn't bad, but if you do stuff like that, it's like, you know better. Like, you know if it is or not. With them, they're doing it where you don't know. And they put more shit in that shit. More than just THC. They be putting little hints of fentanyl or whatever they putting in that shit. And they try to make it seem like they're on it because they got two Jakes over here, right? You zoom in on this motherfucker. This motherfucker look like he ate a whole bag of them jits. That motherfucker look like Shanghai in that bitch. That motherfucker look like he ate some shit. All right? It look like he ate 4 of them bags. Man, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. We're going to get back to the scriptures. Ezekiel 4:13, done it before. And it reads, and the Lord said, even thus all the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. So you know that Israel and these Gentiles that it's talking about is a separation. And, you know, that's what we're seeing. So, Salakia, little small yawn. This one says meteor exploded over New York City at 38,000 miles per hour. Rare daylight fireball. Small meteor was responsible for a big fireball of New York City on Tuesday, July 16th. Authorities said the event was first and in the chat, a couple of brothers was talking about there was a Baptist church that got set on fire over there earlier today too. These are signs to show you that this place is going to be on fire one day. First detected about 49 miles above Upper Bay, New York Harbor, and moved west towards New Jersey. 38,000 miles per hour, passing over a Statue of Liberty before disintegrating about 29 miles above Midtown Manhattan. NASA confirmed in a statement. Witness described seeing a fireball, hearing booms, and feeling shakings between 10 a.m. 12 p.m. local time. You know, 12, it talks about the noonday. So these are all spiritual signs that show that the Lord is warning the elect and also warning 2/3. He's warning 2/3 too, but they're just not going to hearken to him. But he's warning them. He's warning them that this place is going to be on fire. And we know when you do the numerology, 38, 3 plus 8 is 11. And we just went into that all yesterday about this fucking motherfucking Trump and all the 11s and 33s all concerning his shit that he's got going on. Come on, man. There ain't nobody on the planet that just has a speedometer that reads 38,000 miles an hour. Some fucking meteorite just disintegrates over New York City, over the Statue of Liberty. They mention all that to give you signs. That's what the Lord did. He you know, signs that what, just like the brother just said, brother just made a video. What'd he say? There's a spirit right now they doing this. GMS Hawaii, said Trump can't save America. This is why the Lord had me say this right now. This is plain, man. He's not going to save this place. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, talking about us, Israel, the men. Sound an alarm in my holy mountain, talking about the nation, all the men. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. I'm talking about the real men who are doing the work. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Verse 2, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. Talking about these missiles. They have not been ever the light, neither shall they be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Why? Because it talked about in Isaiah chapter 2 that what? All these nations would flow. They would beam. The beam, the light would come on. I'm like, I get it. I get why they destroyed everything. We need to be like them. Okay? This is what they were doing it for, because this happened first. Okay? And we can go further into it, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We talk about it all the time. Talk about it all the time. The missiles coming. We can go into it, but we don't need to. There's plenty of lessons that I've done going into Joel 2 verse 1, Revelation 9:16. We've done these a lot of times. We don't have to go into it a whole bunch of times. If you're somebody who's new and you're like, oh, I need to know, message me on the comment board and I'll send you one of the videos. It says Neuralink begins second human trials. So they're getting back into it. He looks like a happy Esau Edomite. He's happy. He's got his doctors putting that shit in motherfuckers, getting that shit ready. Okay? That's what it looks like. There it goes. That's the mark of the beast. Okay? One form of it. But the other form is, the RFDI chip that you can put in your right hand. It's a little smaller than that. It looks like a grain of rice. Or the forehead. I'm going to read Revelation 13:16. We're going to close out. This is real simple stuff, man. We're just going to stick with in Shalom. So anybody tuning in, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak, Atham. Rawchaa. Hopefully, you come into the body and you know what it is. Like, you get out of whatever you in, dealing with false brethren, whatever, man. Hey, get you a jersey on. I said the other week, get you a GMS jersey on if you're called. And he already called all of y'all, so you know what it is. We want to see, men serving Yahawah, Yahawashi. That's a win for us. So, Lord willing, he keeps guiding you, and he puts you in that position of where you do come in the brotherhood. Because I haven't seen nothing, that you've done that's like, where you just shown like you was a false brother and you've been a good brother, but we know God orders, we sticking with the brotherhood right now, but you seem like sincere. Just go report to the camp, and Lord willing, man, you come into the fold, man. That's just me talking to you as a brother, and saying it in a loving way, man. We're not assholes over here, the people who really love Yahawah, Yahawashi. This is Revelation 13, verse 16. That reads, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads. That word mark in the Greek means charagma. Okay, and that's an incision. It says an incision. Okay, it's talking about physical. And then when it says more foreheads, it says metaton. Okay, so that's talking about that shit. And it means between the eyelids. They're going to put that shit in between your eyelid. Let me get to it. Right there. They're going to put that shit in your fucking between your eyelid. You know how they call it the third eye and shit. That's what they're trying to do. Okay? Right hand or your foreheads. Verse 17, then that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the charagma or the name of the beast. And the beast is, the United Nations and the EU. United Nations and NATO. United Nations, NATO, and the EU. The EU's kind of like the smallest branch of that, if I would say. Or the number of his name. Verse 18 here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and 6. It's a barcode. It's what's in your credit card. It's going to go on your credit card. So that's it. I wasn't trying to make it super long, but, you know, I've been doing less scriptures, more articles, you know, more words going into it, more breakdowns talking about it, because like we don't have to show you a ton of scriptures, Jake, for you to understand what's going on. It's sharper than any two-edged sword. We don't have to show you 1,000 scriptures. 2, 3 scriptures. If you don't get it by then, man, you know, all right, whatever. And there's brothers who do many scriptures too. So you have the full arsenal to understand, like, this truth. So you can't blame nobody but yourself if you don't understand. We're trying our best to get you to understand, and we're giving you the milk. Some brothers is giving you the milk. Some brothers is breaking down stuff more in depth. We're telling you want to come on the comment board, talk about it, whatever. But we're not looking to like try to bring nobody in. It's not like that. But we are apt to teach. We are in a mindset. We are ready to answer sincere people. Because it says, answer not a fool according to his folly. So that's why you see people like Vocab. We don't like answering him because we know that he's foolish, ultimately foolish, because he really is not sincere. He don't really want to get saved. We want to talk to people who really want to get saved. If you don't really want to get saved, then we don't really want to talk to you, you know, pertaining salvation, if that makes any sense. So Shalom to elect to Israel, hope elect to Israel, Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreign Israelites, and Latino nations scattered across 4 corners of the earth. Want to give all praise to Barak there, Rawchaa. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, led us all to this truth. Ordained by the Lord, teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath. To all those who are part of the elect, to the hopeful elect, Lord willing, part of that number. Lord willing, this be edifying those who fear the name of the Lord, striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. Judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah 3:5, not slack. 2 Peter 3:9, unto a ring, 2 to the 5, verse 42. Wow, Shalom, all you sincere believers. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Bahasham, Qadash, Barak, Atham. Peace and blessing to the elect. Kwam Yasharala. Just putting out this incense. Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.